One of the biggest pains in life is comparing yourself to others. We often think, why is she so successful and I'm not? But we don't try to understand. Her path and mine are not the same. Remember, if a fish wants to fly like a bird, it will spend its whole life thinking it's not good enough, even if it can swim across the entire ocean. These days, because of social media, this habit of comparing ourselves has become even worse. We see someone else's success and start to feel like our own life is small. We forget our own talents. And this kind of thinking slowly pushes people into sadness and hopelessness. That's why today's story is for anyone who has ever felt like, I'll never be as good as them. Listen carefully, because every line in this story can change the way you think. Once there was a small village near a town, and beside that village was a big and beautiful forest. In that village lived a boy named Farhan. He was a hard-working and kind boy, but there was one habit that made him feel sad all the time. He always compared himself with others. When he saw his friend Liam getting the best grades in class, Farhan would think, I wish I was as smart as him. His neighbor Ryan was very rich. Farhan would think, I wish I had money like him. Even if he saw someone running fast, he would think, why can't I run that fast? These thoughts made Farhan feel more and more unhappy. He couldn't focus on his studies. He didn't enjoy doing anything. All the time, one thought haunted him. I'll never be like them. One day, a wise old man visited the village. Everyone called him Grandpa John. He always gave helpful advice, and people loved listening to him. Farhan went up to him and said, Grandpa, I work really hard, but when I see someone doing better than me, I feel really sad. It feels like I'll never be like them. Grandpa smiled and said, Come to the oldest tree in the village tomorrow morning. You'll find all your answers there. The next morning, Farhan went to the tree. Grandpa was already waiting there. He said, Look around carefully. What do you see? Farhan looked around and said, Grandpa, there are so many different trees. Some are tall, some are short. Some have lots of fruits and some have none. Grandpa smiled and said, Now think, if this apple tree compared itself to the coconut tree and said, Why am I so short? Or the coconut tree said, I wish I had sweet fruits like apples. How would that sound? Farhan laughed and said, That would sound really silly, Grandpa. Then Grandpa asked, Okay, now tell me, how does this whole forest feel to you? Farhan replied softly, It feels very peaceful and beautiful. Everything seems just right. Grandpa smiled again. Just like life, my boy. Every tree in this forest has its own special quality. In the same way, every person also has different strengths. The apple tree gives sweet fruit. The coconut tree is tall and strong. They are different, but both are important. Then Grandpa took Farhan near a pond. There were many fish swimming in the water, and a little bird was flying above the pond, chirping joyfully. Grandpa pointed at the fish and said, Look at them, Farhan. They can't fly like the bird, but they glide through the water with such grace. Now look at the bird, and it can't swim like the fish, but it soars through the sky with freedom. He looked at Farhan and asked, Do you think either of them feels less important? Farhan shook his head. No, Grandpa. They're both doing what they're meant to do. Exactly, Grandpa said. The fish doesn't waste time wishing it had wings. The bird doesn't envy the fish's fins. They live with confidence in their own gifts. That's what self-confidence is, Farhan. Not trying to be someone else, but embracing who you are. Farhan looked at the pond again, this time with new eyes. He saw beauty in the fish and the bird, and in himself. So I should stop comparing, he said. and start discovering what I'm good at? Grandpa smiled warmly. Yes, my boy. Your path is yours alone. Walk it with pride. The world doesn't need another Liam or Ryan. It needs Farhan with all his kindness, hard work, and heart. From that day on, Farhan stopped measuring his worth by others. He focused on his own journey. And slowly he began to shine. His grades improved, his smile returned, and he found joy in the things that made him unique. And whenever he felt doubt creeping in, he would visit the old tree in the pond, remembering the forest, the fish, and the bird, and the lesson that changed his life forever. Self-confidence begins when comparison ends. You are not here to be like anyone else. You are here to be you.